Welcome to Chamber Talk. My name's Heath Taylor. I'm the President and CEO at the Dublin-Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, and I have my guest today with me is Mr. Lance Jones, the City Manager of Dublin. Thank you for joining us today, Lance.
Good to see you, Heath. Glad to do it.
Well, first thing I want to know, Lance, is...
I'm really not glad to do it. I hate being on TV. I tell the truth. I lied. I'm sorry.
You've been in this position now officially about a year.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about maybe, first off, what made you, at what point did you decide, I think I want to be the city manager here in Dublin?
Well, I'd been working very closely with George Roussel and had watched him run the city, and it just really interested me. I thought one day I would like the chance to do it. I surely hated the way it came about with George having some, Mr. Roussel had some heart problems and needed to retire, and I was hoping I'd have many more years to learn from him before I took a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me a lot just watching him. I worked closely. I was a city attorney for 10 years, full-time, on-staff city attorney, and was a city attorney before that, off-staff, and was a city prosecutor before that. So I'd worked with George for probably 15 years before he retired. But just worked closer and closer with him every day and really saw how he interacted with people. And the staff we have here really made me know I would be safe trying it, because we have a fantastic staff. I knew I wasn't, George, Mayor Best, the city council, had the city in great financial shape. And so I knew I was not stepping into something that needed to be fixed. I was stepping into something that needed to be kept going in the right direction.
Right. So, sometimes that's a little bit of pressure if the person behind you has been, or before you has been real successful. It
is, and but it's like a big ship going in the right direction, and I just got to keep steering it that way, I think. Now we're doing, and but you're always building. You're always looking at what the people did before you, and trying to build on that and do better. And it's like I told my staff, if we don't do better than the people before us, we're letting them down.
That's right.
Because they built it. They built the foundation for us. It's our job to take the next step up, and I think we're doing that. We got a lot going on at the city right now.
I think you and I are sitting in the same seats. I had some pretty big shoes to fill myself coming here, and hopefully we're doing those things at the chamber as well. So you waited, you did your time, and day one on the job. Tell me what you went through. They called me into the room. We had interviewed a lot of folks. They called me in and told me I had the job, but I couldn't tell anybody yet because they wanted to make the public announcement. That day, we had a storm blow through, take out power to half the town, blew off. It was a terrible storm. So that day, I couldn't tell anybody I was a city manager, but I'm out, and the mayor was kidding me the other day because I was talking about it. He said, well, you really did a lot, didn't you? I was like, well, no, I didn't do anything. But as I said, the guys that work for us, they know what they're doing. So I was out kind of standing around making sure they were doing it. But just watching them work, everybody out doing their job, middle of the night trying to get sewer pumps back online. It's just amazing. We just got good folks working for the city, but that was my first day. Okay, so pretty interesting first day.
Yeah, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get the power back on.
So your plan coming in, you're new. You've been here, but in this role, you're new. What's your first 90-day plan? Maybe did you have a 90-day plan or a 6-month plan?
Not per se. A lot of it's trying to, of course, a lot of it in that first period is just trying to make sure we've got the projects that we're going. Get to know better. I knew the city folks, but trying to get to know the outside people folks, industrial authority people, Chamber of Commerce, county government people. I had worked a little bit with everybody, but most of my stuff was internal to the city, but really trying to reach out and make sure, because I think that's a real strength of Lawrence County. And you go around the state, talk to people in other communities, we have a rare thing here.
Yes, we do.
It's hard for me to think of anybody that doesn't. And I'm not going to say your name if you're not, but everybody here wants to make things work. We might disagree about exactly how to go about it or exactly how it needs to look like when it's done, but everybody wants what's best for the city and best for the citizens of Dublin, best for the citizens of Lawrence County. And it's just, it's all sitting down and negotiate and getting that done. And everybody's willing to give a little bit. You know, I hadn't run into a situation where there was a project, something that needs to get done, that somebody just puts their feet in the sand and says no.
Right.
You know, everybody's like, well, I don't know if that's going to work that way, but I'm willing to sit down with you and discuss it until we figure out how it can work. So that just, it makes my job easier, so much easier than in other places where the city and the county, the development authority.
Sometimes, yeah.
Or I talked to a city manager in another town. They were trying to get a new business in, and the development authority was fighting them tooth and nail because they didn't want it there. And it was amazing to me. I just thought, I can't imagine. You know, the development authority is fighting you to keep industry out, where we're always that's opposite. We're like this. We're together trying to get them here. Might disagree about exactly where it needs to be or what everybody's going to do, but we want to make it work for people.
I can tell you 3 communities, Aiken, Augusta, Columbia County, never have I seen the cooperation between city and county governments that we have here. So great job on your behalf and the folks at the county, and like you said, all of the staff here at the city. And as far as from a chamber perspective, they've been nothing less than just wonderful for us and working with us on anything that we do. You guys work pretty close with the downtown development as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, we don't always agree exactly. They always need a little more money. If you're running a budget, you're always trying to rein things in. But they got so many good ideas. It's just it's trying to pick which one to do first and make sure we're doing it. Like I said, I think we are responsible with the people's money on the projects we do. You look at the parking lots downtown. Great example is the parking lot behind the skyscraper. Mm-hmm. People had a vision there that, hey, it's kind of like if we build it, they will come.
Right.
You know, we needed more parking downtown. A lot of people said you don't need that parking. You're wasting your time. But you look at what that parking lot looked like before. If you just close your eyes for a minute, remember that dirt lot thrown away. That 6-story building, literally pieces falling off of it. It was going to kill somebody. I had decided we've gone too far. We're going to have to tear it down. Mayor Best, some other folks said, no, let's get this parking lot done. Got the parking lot done. What happened after that? Georgia Military College comes in. Something nobody ever thought would happen. Joshua Kite, the mayor, just really had the vision to get that done. And now we got a college that all you got to do is graduate high school. All you got to do is have your GED. You don't have to have taken other tests to get in.
Right.
Yeah, and you can walk in the door. Let's say you want to go to the University of Georgia, Georgia Southern. You don't have the grades yet to do that. You can go in there. So look, I goofed around in high school. I did that. I was guilty of that. Goof around, don't do as well as you should. You got a chance now. Mm-hmm. You can walk in the door, take things seriously, get your grades up, and go to just about any school you want to in the state.
And Landmark Cafe downstairs.
Landmark Cafe, fantastic place to eat.
Probably one of the most photographed, or at least as much as anything else today, one of the most photographed buildings in the downtown area as well. So, Lance, I appreciate you. We're going to take a short break and hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Hello, friends. I'm excited to be part of one of the best teams in Dublin here at Dublin Ford Lincoln. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, I'm biased, but that's exactly why you should come down today and let our excellent staff prove it to you. Each and every one of our team members would be honored to serve you, your family, or your business. And I'd like to introduce them to you now. Our sales team includes Mark Cox, Trey Nelson, Seth Young, Jim Tilton, Scott Sickles, Marlise Mickelson, and Trent Barnes. And our wonderful office staff include Janice Peterson and Anita Cochran. and our Business Development Coordinator, Miranda Peterson. Our service and parts team include Frank Serene, Jennifer Fleming, Jason Mims, Robert Boyd, Stanley Darnell, Thomas Tyler, Dan Gensler, Wayne Bass, Justin Hartley. And the detailing department includes Ben Dudley and Sean Taylor. So come in today and visit us at 2265 Veterans Boulevard in beautiful Dublin, Georgia. And you'll see why others call you customers and we call you friends.
When you spend 100% of your time helping others, 100 years seems to go by in a flash. Auto Owners Insurance.
Curry Maffitt Insurance Agency in Dublin is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Welcome back. Lance, we were talking earlier about downtown and the skyscraper and all that's going on in that building, but I understand we got some other projects going on as well downtown.
Oh yeah, it's what we talked about earlier. We got so much going on. It's hard to get to it all in 30 minutes. But the biggest change you're going to see downtown is the new parking lot we're going to do on Gaines Street. We're going to do a pass through to Jackson Street. There's a space there that's so I'm trying to think, is it 60 feet wide? That's going to be pedestrian space, some places to eat, just a small event space. But it's going to be very open between, where it's the old, it was the old Piggly Wiggly grocery store. For anybody who's lived here a long time, it's the first grocery store I remember going in as a child. It was most recently part of Mr. Pitt's Toyota parking lot there. But it's going to be a tremendous addition to downtown. We got the parking on the other side now. Of course, a lot of it's taken up with GMC, and their kids hopefully are going to more and more fill that up, and we're going to need more parking. But this will just really, it kind of completes the square we've been working on. We got the farmers market. Right. We've got the GMC building. We're working on that corner of downtown. And from there, we've already started working on Stubbs Park and trying to revitalize that whole area.
Right. And now, I think I heard you say this morning in another meeting, construction on this may start as early as next week, or did you say 30 days?
Probably in 30. We're getting the bids ready for tearing down. We got to get some bids on tearing down the old buildings we're going to remove. And as Mr. Kite has pointed out in the past, Joshua Kite is very good at watching and making sure you don't tear down anything historic. Right. The buildings we've looked, and they're just not they're not preservation type buildings. But yeah, we're hoping to have the bids out on the demolition here in the next couple of weeks, and then within after 30 days of that, I was being optimistic with 30 days. It'll probably take 6 to 8 weeks, but hire somebody and get them in there and start taking those buildings down. Okay.
Now, speaking of historic buildings and things to that effect, the Martin Luther King monument is being worked on as well.
Right, and they're working on it. The pad's poured. We're it's going to be in several phases. But the first phase is started, so people will, if you ride by there, you're going to see some work going on. It's a corner right across from First AB Church. And it's going to be a really signature landmark for Dublin. I think people will come from, just when we announced it, that we were trying to raise money to get it done, we had somebody call and say they were driving from Nebraska to see where Dr. King made his first speech. I don't think people realize what a draw that is, how meaningful that is to so many people.
I think I remember that morning we had the groundbreaking over there. There was a lady saying that there would be something in the Atlanta airport, even when folks fly into the airport, letting them know that the monument was here.
It's an incredibly historic spot that most people in Dublin, Lawrence County might not even know is here.
Right. Bragg. talk to me a little bit about what's going on with Bragg and when that's taking place.
Bicycle Ride Across Georgia, it's going to be here in 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after. I believe it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th of June. We're going to have maybe as many as 1,400 cyclists here spending the night in Stubbs Park, and that's really helped give us a bump to get Stubbs Park renewed. But they're going to be here and spend those days, got lots of activities, going to show off Dublin a little bit. So everybody get ready for them, and we just need to be good hosts.
And I believe
people here are, but just be, when you see a bicyclist,
wave at them,
welcome them to town. So.
And is it on the 8th, I believe, with the concert and the breakfast, lunch, dinner? We want to encourage folks to come out on June the 8th and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or at least 2, I was told this morning. Have at least 2 meals at Stubbs Park on that day. So.
And it's helping raise money for them. That's a great thing. People are worried about how much the memorials cost, and hey, that's all my tax money. But most of this is the city's doing some matching stuff. A lot of what the city's contributing is our time. Some of our crew's doing some work, but mostly nobody's really doing that much work. It's mostly our engineering department's time, helping getting specifications, drawings, coordinating things. But it's mostly being done with state grants, private funds. There's a Kickstarter. I can't remember if it's Kickstarter. There's one of the fundraising websites, GoFundMe, I think. It's on GoFundMe. There's a place on there if you'd like to contribute on the GoFundMe site, but it's mostly, it's a real cooperative effort to get it done.
Well, and if we can give a plug or two, I think Company Supply, Dino's, do you remember any of the others that are, I think they're donating the food for the breakfast
I'm not sure.
and some of those things.
Yeah.
So want to say thank you to anyone that's participating in that and helping out by donating of their goods and services as well as their time. So
it's a fantastic project.
It is. We're going to take one more short break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of our industry and manufacturing announcements.
Choose Dublin Nissan for a fast, friendly, and fun car buying experience. Get a 2016 Altima with 0% financing for 60 months. I'm Locke Wilford, and I approve this message for Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
I am very delighted to have Dr. Sandra Hollander, who joined me last year. In fact, she is the only female oncologist in the Middle Georgia area. Some patients feel much more comfortable going to a female oncologist than to a male oncologist, and that's perfectly okay. For patients with breast cancer or ovarian cancer, sometimes they feel better that they can discuss these things with a female oncologist. Dr. Sandra Hollander is a great physician. People love her. She's triple boarded. She's board certified in hematology, oncology, and internal medicine. Anybody who prefers a female oncologist would feel better seeing her. And you can always call our office and make an appointment.
Don't settle for anything less than the very best when it comes to your health. The Cancer Center, here in Lawrence County, is Dublin Hematology and Oncology Care.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business financial needs, we're a full-service bank, big enough to handle all your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter.
Welcome back. Lance, we're having a great conversation about industry, manufacturing, about the downtown area, all the new development. I know Brad Lofton and the team over at Economic Development, they've had some home runs lately here in Dublin and Lawrence County. How exactly does, I know a lot of that development is in the county, but how does that impact you here in the city?
Well, it's in the city, so it's in. That's what people forget. Everything in the city is in the county. So, and it's good for everybody in the county and counties around us. Through the recession, through the just the gradual years of textiles leaving, it's very depressing. You drive by and see that great Forstmann plant is gone. It's just, it hurts you when you go by and you think of all the people that work there, the families that sent their kids to school through there. But we lost a lot of jobs in our area. but we're coming back. I mean, we're really, I think behind me are the flags from different countries that have located here. We can add an Israeli flag to that with new polymer logistics. We're getting to be a real hub for people doing things that have some connections to automotive. We've got the mega site down on I-16, just ready for a big company to come. Polymer Logistics, like I said, is an Israeli company, is adding over 100 jobs. We got Valmira Glass, which was just a home run for Lawrence County. It's going to have, between 400 and 500 jobs, and I think that company's going to grow.
Yeah.
They're and good jobs. I think we've got the workforce here. It's just getting the word out to people and encouraging people to come in, make your application. If you want work, we got it in Dublin
Right.
now.
I believe altogether we figured, 500 or 600 jobs in the next, or more than that, probably closer to 600 jobs.
Yes.
In the next year and a half.
I believe it's TriStar downtown.
That's what I was going to ask you. Now that's a downtown, and as important as we need these big industry and manufacturers, small business is the backbone of a community. And the long-standing, businesses. So TriStar, 30 employees, and you may think, 30, 35, but 30, 35 consistent, good-paying jobs with benefits, that's important in a community like ours.
Yeah, I think most of us would rather have 10 30s than one 300 employed, and I'd rather have 10 300 than one 3,000. So it's always, we need them all. We need the big ones and the small ones. It just gives you a good mixed economy. You're not dependent on one thing, but I'm excited about them coming in downtown. It's an old warehouse. It's been a warehouse for, I'm sure, over 100 years. And they're really going to revitalize that.
And could
area.
you imagine across the United States today, how many city managers, how many county managers would love to be sitting having a conversation saying, hey, how are we going to fill all these jobs we have? Man, we got so many jobs. How are we going to fill these jobs?
Most of the problems we have are good problems,
right.
problems you want to have. We've got problems with crime. We got problems with other things that I think we're really addressing. I think Tim Chapman, we got so much good going on good at the city. Chief Chapman is making tremendous progress in knitting our community together, letting people know that this is your police force, everybody in the community.
When you and I talked this morning at an earlier meeting, and I believe Mayor Best was in on the conversation with us, we have some of the best, brightest, most talented people in the United States right here in Dublin. And we have that ability to be able to bring people together to move our community forward.
I think if you can give people things they can work on. I was saying the police are in the community talking with folks, so they know this is our police department. Giving people with talent places to use them, like Stubbs Park. We talked a little bit about Stubbs Park. We really need to bring Stubbs Park. It's designed by the same people that designed the master's course in Augusta. I mean, you think about that. That's right here in Dublin, and it kind of been neglected, but there's a Friends of Stubbs Park group that has formed, and I'm sure there are tons of people in the city that would like to be a part of that. I remember playing there as a child. I played all up and down that creek. It's just a beautiful place, and we need to get people back in it. And we've got a long-term plan over there to do some real big improvements.
On those lines, Lance, to close out our show today, take just a few minutes and share with our viewers a few things that you would just like folks to know about the city of Dublin. All
right. Well, I always try to work in two things anytime anybody lets me talk. One is visit Riverview Golf Course. We've got a beautiful municipal golf course. Golf's had a hard time over the last few years. That's something you can leave off, but Riverview's a fantastic course. Not say anything bad about other courses, play there too. But Riverview is it's our municipal course, and
you have a new superintendent.
Steve is doing I don't go down there that he's not usually on a machine working. He's a superintendent. He's not in the office hiding. He's out working as hard as anybody down there. And all the rangers, everybody that works down there just does a great job and wants the golf course to succeed. And I think had gotten a little discouraged about it, but it's turning around. I just get so many compliments on how nice the course looks, improvements we're making, and Steve is, just give him all credit. He works like a Trojan down there. The second thing I always got to mention is City of Dublin gas. We sell gas. I'm giving you a pen. This is our gas pen.
Okay.
And I want to mention,
This come with 1 free month of...
let me tell you something, not just free month. If you need a gas hot water heater, you do not need to buy a gas hot water heater. If you don't have gas already, come see us. We will give you a gas hot water heater to get you on city gas. We're always trying to think of ways, incentives, to get people to get on gas. Georgia Power, everybody needs, you have to have electricity in your house.
Right.
Nothing bad. We work closely with Georgia Power on so many things. But one thing I want you to do is get some gas heat. You know, it just feels so good when you walk up in the winter and you turn on that heat. You walk over and put your feet over that vent and there's hot air coming out.
Well, and I'll tell you, not just that. Now, we cook with gas at my house. And
What's the saying? We're cooking with gas.
It's pretty good. So,
That's you know, and so you don't. That's not a saying we're cooking with electricity. We're cooking with gas. So get you a gas range. You need gas for your lights, like I said, and they're good folks. We work with them all the time. And they work closely with us on industries and recruiting and stuff. But get you some good City of Dublin natural gas.
There we go. Lance, thank you. I enjoyed our conversation
thank
today.
you.
Thank you for joining in with us. And as always, I want to remind you that it's a great day for business in Dublin and Lawrence County.